Today we are here to announce some important legislation and new technology designed to keep our youth safe, not only here in the town of Islip, but throughout our nation. In recent months, we have seen vaping become a public health crisis. Yesterday, the first death in the state of New York was documented, a 17-year-old boy from the Bronx. Children as young as in the 4th grade have been reported to be vaping in their elementary school classrooms. Just this past weekend, 1,000 new cases of vaping-related illnesses have been reported to the Centers for Disease Control. Kids are not only vaping, but they're also smoking THC through e-cigarettes. THC is a gateway drug to other more serious and potentially lethal drugs such as opioid and heroin. The town of Islip has been at the forefront of the opioid heroin crisis, forming our Islip Town Opioid Heroin Task Force in 2018 to address this issue. And this year alone, there have been 21 opioid heroin-related deaths just in our town of Islip. September has been designated as National Recovery Month, so last month we turned the town of Islip cupola purple in memory of the lives lost, those in recovery, those struggling, and the families affected by this awful crisis. We're incorporating important education about the harmful effects of vaping into the message from the Town of Islip Youth Bureau, the message that they bring to the youth in our schools. It's gratifying to see that Governor Cuomo has taken a stand and is banning flavored e-cigarettes in the state of New York. Once the ban on flavored e-cigarettes takes effect, Town of Islip fire marshals will be monitoring compliance during routine inspections throughout the town. Back in May of 2016, I initiated changes to our town code. You know, it was kind of just happening, and it just didn't make sense to me to see vape shops popping up, near schools in our downtowns. So we changed our town code to prohibit vape shops from locating near schools, parks, playgrounds, and places of worship. Recently, this section of the code was tested in court. Naturally, we were sued, and fortunately, it was upheld. Our fire marshals remain prepared to respond to any complaints we receive and to help ensure that flavored e-cigarettes do not reach the youth in our communities. At this time, I'd like to introduce Congressman Peter King. Pete is the co-chair of the newly formed Congressional Caucus to end the youth vaping epidemic. Congressman King has always been on the forefront of public safety, working diligently to keep our citizens safe. He has been a longtime colleague, working closely with us to end the scourge of gang violence in Suffolk County. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Congressman Peter King to discuss his new legislation. Pete?
Thank you, Angie. Let me congratulate you and Town of Islip for the really outstanding job you're doing, for being in the forefront, because this vaping is it's an epidemic, certainly among the youth. And again, just in the last several months, when you talk to kids, casually, high school students, they say, oh yeah, they vape, the friends vape. It's just considered ordinary recreation. And it's also considered cool. We have to stop this. And I really blame the companies like Juul and others, the whole enticement of young people into vaping through flavored, again, all these various type flavors they use. It's just to draw kids in. And in many ways, they're using the same advertising methods that the tobacco companies used 30 and 40 years ago to entice adults into smoking. Somehow trying to convince you that smoking was healthy for you. Smoking was the way to go. Smoking made you a better athlete. It made you more of a sex symbol. Whatever it was, they had all these various type ads. And that's what they're doing now, not just with the overt ads, but social media. It's out in social media, and that's where young people today, that's where they communicate. That's where they get their knowledge. That's where they learn, they believe, how to live. So it's really a very sinister method to entice these young kids. And as Angie said, there's been deaths around the country. We had our first one here in New York. I know in various hospitals, I can tell you, people being taken to the emergency rooms after vaping. Again, usually young people. But it's not just high school, it goes down as far as junior high school, and even younger in some cases. So again, we have legislation in Congress which would ban nationwide the flavored vaping. It would also raise the tobacco age to 21. But to me, the key thing we're focusing on is to end the sale to youth, to end the flavoring of vaping, and also to make sure the FDA gets involved with e-cigarettes the same as they do with ordinary cigarettes. So with that, I'm proud to be here today with Angie. It's something we have to fight on, and we really have to get the message out to the schools. I want to thank the police for the effort that they do. But again, it requires a concerted effort from all levels of society, because this is it's a scourge, and it's something that is really ruining our nation's youth. So with that, Angie, thank you for what you've done, what the town is doing. As usual, you're in the forefront. So thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, I think instinctively we knew vaping couldn't be good. And we can do things locally, we can do things on a statewide level. But when it rises to the level of federal legislation, as Congressman King has done, I think we will see that a difference will really, really be made. And, you know, perhaps smoking should have been handled that way many years ago. As I mentioned earlier, children as early as 4th grade are vaping in classrooms, and it doesn't stop there. Kids are vaping in hallways, in locker rooms, and there is new technology to detect vape in those settings. It's being manufactured right here by the IP Video Corporation in the town of Islip's Foreign Trade Zone. And I'd like to introduce David Antar, a longtime friend and president of IP Video, who will discuss the Halo Smart Sensor. The technology is absolutely incredible. And I can tell you, my colleagues here on the town board, John, Kate, couldn't be prouder that it's happening right here in the town of Islip, and it's going to be making a difference across the country. David?
Angie, thank you very much. And we're very proud to be a part of this event that we're doing today. We at IP Video have been developing technology for the last 4 years to combat the vaping epidemic that we saw coming. We've been a national leader in school safety and school security for almost 20 years now, and we always do things to try and make the schools safer with technology that we develop. This product was developed 100% in the United States by our team, and it's manufactured right here at AA Tech, which is a large manufacturing facility that brings state-of-the-art manufacturing technology to this. The difference this has made is incredible. We have this in 46 states right now across the U.S., and the demand for it internationally is going up every day. The product is one of the only products that will actually do vape detection as well as vape with THC to be able to alert them when they're using drugs in the schools on top of just vaping. And then on top of that, it has a whole bunch of other functions for environmental safety and environmental monitoring. It does things like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide monitoring, methane, propane, and natural gas detection, chemical detection, temperature, humidity, air pressure, and light levels. And then on top of that, it has a whole audio analytics side for things like glass break, gunshot, and aggression detection, which are being developed right here at Stony Brook University. We have a team of graduate students working on this technology. So we're proud to have this product being manufactured here on Long Island, being distributed across the world, and we believe that this is going to really change young people starting to vape by stopping it in the schools, which is where it's happening the most. So thank you very much for having us here. We're very proud to be a part of this. Right now, it's peer pressure for the kids to smoke and vape, and no kid wants to rat out or report somebody else for vaping in the bathroom. This now gives the kids the ability to be able to go into the bathrooms in school, feel safe, and not feel that they're going to be threatened or falsely accused for vaping when somebody else is vaping in the room. So it stops the spread of it. You're not going to stop everybody from vaping, but it does definitely make a difference in kids not adopting it as quickly. And if we make it difficult for them to do in the schools, just like smoking, it starts to dwindle away. And this is one of the only technologies that will do that, but it serves a lot of other functions in addition to the vape detection. It's piloted originally in Bayshore schools, West Islip schools, and Three Village schools. If you recently saw, Three Village just filed a lawsuit against Juul. They were one of the original pilot schools to test this technology and found it to work incredibly well. The difference between this and any other technologies out there is we don't get false alarms from our technology. We're able to use multiple sensors. There's 12 sensors in this device that allows us to filter out and ignore things like hairspray, body spray, and different things that might be in an area of privacy. They're not for outdoor use at this time, although we're working on a version of that, but they do serve into hotels, into the hospitality industry, into healthcare. There's almost no vertical market that this doesn't serve. We're talking to the airlines at this point about putting this into airlines as well as into buses. So there's a lot of other areas besides areas of privacy that this device can go into. It's not really just designed for those areas of privacy. It's designed for every room of every building in the world.
The technology such as this, to me, it's absolutely essential because this is so imbued in young people today. We can't count on them coming forward. You need this type of technology to detect what's going on. It's an added weapon, an added tool for school authorities, for youth groups to be able to monitor what's happening. So to me, it's a tremendous step forward and something that has to be encouraged. Yeah, actually, I'm co-sponsor with Congressman Mullen and also Tom Suozzi. We have similar legislation, and it would mainly it would end the flavoring of vape e-cigarettes. You just couldn't be. It's targeting a number of things. It's going to increase the tax. It's going to increase the age. It's going to bring in the FDA. Be monitored. The main thing it's aimed at is to stop the flavoring.
They're marketing to kids. They're marketing, Chewy grape or, bubble gum flavoring and the things that kids will buy in candy. And so this will eliminate that, and it's got to really put a crimp in their marketing capability.
So we feel it's essential to have it nationwide, although otherwise you have it been smuggled from state to state, as we do now with guns and everything else. So the idea is to have a federal national standard and get it implemented as quickly as possible. Also, it helps to bring pressure against companies like Juul.
The area covers a 12 by 12 area for vape detection. For all the other environmental sensors, it covers 1,000 square feet. So it still can pick up vape at a further distance than the 12 by 12 area, but it will take longer for it to react, and they want to be more reactive in a school district to be able to tie this in to a camera that's outside of the area of privacy to be able to determine who vaped, and they get an alert right to their iPhone or Android device, and then they also have video very often of that individual as they exit that area of privacy. They don't go into a camera, they just associate to a camera that's in an area adjacent to an area of privacy. Yeah, we're very careful about privacy issues, about not recording video or audio from these devices. They don't do either one of those. As soon as this is in a school bathroom and somebody's vaping in that area, it will trigger an alert, whether it's vape or vape with THC, so it'll alert them individually to that, or if somebody tampers with it. And then that alert goes to a text or email to school administrators, and then they respond. And we have an unbelievable number of suspensions across the U.S. with this product already. It's been out since April into the market, and the overwhelming response to it has been, it's long overdue. And it's an exciting product, And I said, we're just excited to be able to manufacture this in the U.S. and actually be able to have it manufactured right here on Long Island.